Welcome back, B-Shooter94 here. We are here for WCW Slammiversary. That's right, I stole the pay-per-view name from TNA, but in this save, TNA does not exist. But we are here, this is our 1-year anniversary pay-per-view. Lots of big matches on the card tonight. We do have the WCW Championship on the line as Rey Mysterio defends against Double J Jeff Jarrett. We have an I Quit match between the Monster Abyss and Bill Goldberg. And we have the Grudge match, 6 months in the making, Booker T versus Sting. We have a Triangle Tag Team title match as the Outsiders defend against the Steiner brothers and the Militia. We have the US Championship as the Guido defends against former champion Rob Van Dam. We have Pinpoint facing off Mark Jindrak against his former friend AJ Styles. We have Buff Bagwell getting his hands on the newly repackaged Hurricane. We have Frankie Kazarian versus Rhino. And we have a clash of Mike Awesome versus Chris Kanyon. Let's get to the show, see what we can get for a great pay-per-view on our 1-year anniversary. Let's get to it. Starting the pay-per-view off, we have a hype package. Just displaying all the matches that I just went through. We're in front of 20,000 people at the Target Center, so big stuff here. And in our opening contest, and about that had great heat and good wrestling. Mike Awesome defeats Chris Kanyon in 13 minutes by pinfall with an awesome bomb. Mike Awesome is 76, Chris Kanyon is 67. Mike Awesome benefited from having a hot new move, and the match got the crowd hotter. 72 overall for the match. Not bad considering this was a thrown together match. Both guys obviously performed fantastically, as I expected. No real complaints. Mike Awesome gets the win here. Kanyon does his part, does a great job. No complaints. Great opening match for the pay-per-view. Good stuff. We get a backstage promo from the Dynasty with Jeff Jarrett. Talking about Rey Mysterio and how he's going to take that championship from the masked wrestler Rey Mysterio, and that he has been destined for glory as he feels he should be the rightful WCW champion. Dustin and BG are playing the lackey roles here. Championship story has advanced. Jeff Jarrett has a gimmick that's getting stale. We'll work with that. Let me write that down. Bear with me 2 seconds. Okay, we're back. 71 rating on the promo, though, so that's good. Good stuff out of these gentlemen here. We get a feud recap of Mark Jindrak turning on AJ Styles and Pinpoint kind of imploding, and now we're getting to this match and how we got here. The storyline has advanced. I realized that I had not changed gimmicks for Mark Jindrak, so we're going to make sure we get that. And he's now going to use the cocky gimmick. So he's just going to be an arrogant prick, pretty much, saying that he's the next big thing, pretty much, kind of being that, similar to MJF, just without the vocal or any type of promo skills. But he got a great rating here, so we'll take that. Wins and losses have a good impact, so that's good. 49 rating, I kind of expected that. That's why this match is the second one on the card. But these guys do get a good match rating. In a decent match, Mark Jindrak defeats AJ Styles in 12 minutes by pinfall with a mark of excellence. Jindrak at 57, AJ at 64. Storyline has ended, but it did gain heat. The announcing quite lifted the match, and the match got the crowd hotter. 63 overall, like I said. AJ is going to be going off TV for a little bit because I'm going to be bringing him back probably like July-ish, because right after the Japan pay-per-view, I'm going to announce a big tournament type thing where we're going to launch a new championship again, but looking forward to that, but we'll get there when we get there. Jindrak gets the win here as he needed to end this Pinpoint storyline. He moves forward as a solos guy. AJ moves forward as a solos guy. Everybody works out great here. Good stuff out of everybody. We get a promo from Guido and the Militia. Guido really laces into Gonzalez and Super Crazy that they need to win the tag team championships tonight. They cannot fail him. And he tells Berlin to make sure that he is the ace in the hole. He needs to make sure that they win the tag belts, and then we need to make sure that the U.S. Championship stays in the Militia, so the Militia can have all the gold at the end of tonight. U.S. title advanced. Tag titles advanced but lost heat. Militia advanced, and Guido improvised well with a 68 overall segment. So this is just kind of getting the troops together for the Militia here. This could be a very big night for their group, so making sure everybody's in place. 68 overall, though. Good stuff. We get a video package of how we got to this rubber match between Guido and RVD. So if you remember, the first time they faced off, the Steiner brothers got involved, which turned into Guido getting distracted and Rob Van Dam retaining. Second time, the Militia got involved. Rob Van Dam took the loss due to Guido winning that one, and now we're in the final one. 71 overall segment, so let's get to the match here. U.S. title advanced and the Militia advanced. And about to head superb wrestling and great heat. The Guido defeats Rob Van Dam in 18 minutes by pinfall with a Rivaderci. The Guido makes defense number 1 of the U.S. Championship. RVD in 85. The Guido in 80. U.S. title advanced, and the Militia advanced and gained heat. Looks like there were times when the definite lack of psychology was on display. I don't think so, but we got an 80 rating for that, so I'm very happy with this match because the U.S. title needs to be bringing in high ratings, and this definitely did. So, feud's over. Rob Van Dam's moving away from the U.S. title and doing some other stuff, but Guido with a great showing, getting us an 80 and retains the title. So, good stuff. And this is just post-match. Guido celebrates that he retained the belt. Rob Van Dam's obviously disappointed, but it works out. 74 overall rating for that. Again, both storylines have advanced. We get a feud recap of Abyss and Goldberg and how we got all the way to this I Quit match now. These guys have gone back and forth. Goldberg beat Abyss. Abyss beat Goldberg. Both guys have been put on the shelf by each other, and now this is the final time that these guys are going to clash. I'm expecting a big rating out of this match, so let's hope for it. Okay, and about to head fantastic heat and good wrestling. The Monster Abyss defeats Goldberg in 15:25. I don't know why it says by submission, but there was an attack on Goldberg in the match by Vampire Warrior and Vampiro, the Nightbreed, have returned to World Championship Wrestling and are now aligning themselves with Mitchell and Abyss. Goldberg is 77, Abyss is 65. Vampire Warrior got a great on his rating. Storyline has ended. Mitchell did great work at ringside, and Goldberg took a stunt bump to end the match. 74 overall segment. Let's see what the gimmick changes are. Oh, it's just for... Okay, cool. Good stuff. 74. I'm happy with that. That's good stuff out of these guys. Good little blow-off match. And then post-match, you just see Goldberg getting stretchered out of the arena. Goldberg is going to be off TV for a bit. Mainly just because it's time, I think, to kind of give him a little break. I don't want him to be a feature every single week. I would like to kind of have him be... I don't want to say the Brock Lesnar schedule, but someone who's there for the big ones, and that's kind of it. I don't want to feature the company around him, so we're going to use him a little bit differently, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Abyss gets a huge win, lots of momentum, so I'm interested to see where we go with him next. But it's amazing that we put him over Goldberg at this point in this feud, so good stuff. 68 rating of Goldberg getting stretchered out. In a decent match, Rhino defeats Frankie Kazarian in 10 minutes by pinfall with a gore. Rhino is 65, Kazarian a 59. Storyline has advanced and gained heat. The announcing quality lifted the match. 65 overall segment. Rhino and Kazarian are doing one of their mid-card feuds here. We're trying to build both guys to a good standing. Rhino is a former TV champion. He is desperately on his way up the card, I hope. And this was a good little test. I think he did a great job. You know, he got a good rating with Kazarian, so we'll find something new for Rhino going forward. He's going to continue this little feud with Kazarian probably for another couple weeks, potentially to the next pay-per-view. But we'll find something to build Rhino up the card. As for Kazarian, he's so young that I can do so many different things with him going forward. But he is definitely in a good spot. So, 65 rating, like I said. We get a feud recap of the Tag Team Championships and how we got to the Triangle Ladder match. So, if you remember, the Steiner brothers answered the open challenge from the Outsiders for the tag belts. Crowd was very into that, but unfortunately the Militia ruined it and caused a DQ. Second week, Outsiders call out the Militia. Tag title match happens. Steiner brothers interrupt. So now the Outsiders just said, enough's enough. We're going to face both teams at Slammiversary, and this is how we got here. So both storylines have advanced. The Militia lost heat, but that's just because of Guido not being in the picture here. But 72 overall for the hype package. In and about that had good heat and decent wrestling. Ray Gonzalez and Super Crazy the Militia defeat the Outsiders and Steiner brothers in 12 minutes. Berlin comes in and attacks to cause the win for the Militia as they win the WCW Tag Team Championships. Kevin Nash is 71, Scott Hall is 67, Militia Boys with 52s, Rick Steiner at 53, and Scott at 75. Both storylines have advanced but did lose heat. Steiner brothers have great chemistry. 67 overall for the match. I can't complain here. I obviously built a new team to be kind of my top heels in the division right now. The Militia have the belts. You know, they just beat the Steiners and the Outsiders. That's a big deal. They finally got there. I think I felt that it was the right thing to do to reward them for how good that group has been. And putting all the belts on them right now is just, I feel like it's just the cherry on top to getting them to that next level. The Outsiders are both guys that are just kind of, you know, Nash and Hall are almost at retirement. The Steiner brothers, Scott's still useful, Rick kind of, not really. So I felt like this was the right move. Bring up the new guys. 67 overall segment. And this is just post-match. The Militia celebrate with Berlin as Guido stands on stage, obviously celebrating the fact that all of his guys have belts. Well, Berlin doesn't, but you know, the tag titles are now with the Militia and the US title. So 67 overall, both storylines have advanced. Is it gonna go to the next one? There we go. All right, and we got a Buff and Don backstage promo saying Buff is so tired of this Hurricane nonsense. He doesn't understand why the Hurricane wanted to get in his business, but he is going to take him out and unmask the phony superhero that he is. 58 overall segment out of Buff and Don here as we get to the match. Remember, the Hurricane returned a couple weeks ago, and Buff Bagwell has been on his radar since. And about to had good heat and decent wrestling. The Hurricane defeats Buff Bagwell in 9:39 with a vertebreaker. Buff Bagwell at 61, Hurricane at 58. Storyline has advanced. Storyline's not over. We're still going to keep going. Announcing quality lifted the match, and Buff and Don are a good pairing. 61 overall segment. Good stuff out of both guys here. Hurricane is a fun character, and I always enjoyed his work in WWE, so we're going to kind of see what we can do with him. I felt like Shane Helms had kind of run his course so far, so we'll see kind of where we go there, but the Hurricane is here to stay for a bit. Buff does a great job of putting him over here, as Buff is that mid-card guy that everybody pretty much is going to be going through to get to the next level. But we're going to keep this feud going, and we'll see where it goes. 61 rating, though, I'll take that out of a mid-card match. We get the storyline recap of Sting and Booker T. As you guys know, this has been 6 months in the making since Starrcade, when I screwed up and put Sting in a match on the Go Home show where he tore his ACL. I have been waiting to finally do this match, and I felt like this has been just an organic feud at this point since he got hurt. And we're finally going to have the showdown. 68 rating for the video hype package. I am hoping so much for at least a 75 to an 80 for this match, so let's hope. Okay, and about that had fantastic heat and great wrestling. Sting defeats Booker T in 1746 by submission with a Scorpion Deathlock. Sting is 78, Booker is 76. Storyline has ended. Sting defeats Booker, finally gets that hero's victory, I guess you could say. 79 overall for the match, so I am not complaining. That is great stuff. I struggled not putting this as the main event because I do feel these are the two biggest stars right now in my company. But I also felt the WCW Championship had to be the main event. but I'll take this rating every time. And Sting still has a lot in the tank, so we're going to use him where he's needed. And Booker, top heel, he's done great for us this first year. I'm excited to see what I do with him going forward. Going to the next one, we should be going towards, feud recap, Double J and Mysterio. So remember, Jeff Jarrett did win the number one contender's shot to get this match, and he has had his dynasty, had his back this whole time. Mysterio has obviously been the fighting champion and has been someone who has held that championship with the highest regard. As you remember, he did win the belt from Booker and did retain again against Booker. So looking forward to see if he can pull off that victory against Double J, Jeff Jarrett. 74 overall for the hype package. The storyline has advanced. Okay. In an exceptional match, Rey Mysterio Jr. defeats Double J, Jeff Jarrett 18-19 by pinfall at Springboard Hurricane Rana. Rey Mysterio makes defense number 2. Double J at 74, Rey at 91. Storyline has advanced and gained heat. The match deserved better color commentary. Okay. Jeff Jarrett has a gimmick that's getting stale. We already wrote that down, so we'll fix that. Mysterio and Jarrett got us an 82. Okay. So I'm happy that this was last because it got a better rating. But Mysterio retained his championship. Jeff Jarrett came up short. I'm kind of surprised that Sting and Booker didn't have a better rating than this match because they had a longer build. But either way, we'll work with it. 82 overall for this match. Let's see what we get for an overall pay-per-view. A 79. I will take that. 22 regions. This whole viewers thing, I'm not even going to talk about it anymore, but it's just annoying at this point. But we got 79 overall rating. I'm interested to see if you guys predicted this and how this show is going to go. I'd love to see some feedback on what you guys think is going to happen going forward into the summer of 2002. As always, please make sure we are liking and subscribing if you are enjoying the content. Please comment. I comment back on every video. We're going to shoot for 10 likes for this video, so that way we can get the next one out for next Sunday. And then we'll see what kind of schedule we go with going forward. I know I put out a poll last week to see kind of what you guys wanted to see on the channel. There should be some more MLB The Show coming that way as well, so we'll see if we can integrate that in. But until then, next Sunday for the first show of Nitro post our 1-year anniversary.